Welcome in our small studio of Conversations. Our talks are centered on economic growth, economic empowerment, money management, and money making. We bring to you this exclusive conversation that is a conversation meant to grow you, meant to lift you from one level to another, meant to improve you from how to be able to manage money, earn that money, how to invest, where to invest, and how are you supposed to invest. In every system and in any given environment of life, as we live and as we anticipate to be able to achieve our goals, to be able to realize our anticipations of life, there are rules that have been set for you to be able to attain a given status, for you to be able to attain a given recognition in a society or in any given manner or in any given way. There is something that we must never let go, and there is a law that should never depart from our hands. And that law is what governs and what makes you declare that indeed I am in a conversation of either an economic conversation or I am in a social health conversation. I'm in a hospital, because once you look at the colors of a given environment, if it is a hospital, it has well designed, calculated, intended, informative, and very deliberate colors that have been designed to tell a patient that, look, guy, wherever you are, this is a hospital. Whatever you're doing, this is maybe a ward, or this is a labor room. Then you move from an environment that has been well located and well designed to communicate to you that we are introducing you into a hotel. Like a hotel, the ambience, if it is a natural, a traditional touch of things, how they have been consecrated, how they have been put together, they are intended to communicate to you that, look, you are entering a premise, and the premise you are entering, it dictates and it informs you that, look, this is where you are. If you are going to come together, or if a place is a party, there is a way that environment has to be set, and there is a way that environment has to communicate to you directly. We have to deconstruct, understand, and reimagine ourselves around what are the reasons as to why someone must be able to dictate that, look, by you seeing across somewhere, it is introducing you to a church. By you seeing this building looking like this, it has these balls around it, and there is a design, a well-designed procedure in a given manner. It communicates, redirects your mind and your psychology that you are arrived at a church. In the space of life, in the space of economics, in the space of business, and in the space of making money, you have to break the set rules and systems that are supposed to tell you, look, by doing this and this, you belong here. That the journey, or for communities that do not understand themselves per se, for example, they have come up with something in life that is called the well-off in the society, the middle class, and then we have the lower class. And there is a way they arrive at that calculation and that deliberations to be able to arrive at classification of these human beings based on their earnings, based on what are they doing in this market space, and what are their motivations, or what do they seek to achieve, what are they looking for as they go forth and maybe be able to understand, or maybe to be able to see what is it that is going on. It puts them in, or it gives a clear guideline to any person who intends to be able to classify you, classify me, classify that other party, classify that second party. It comes up as a rule, a regulation, that how do you arrive at declaring this person as a person who belongs at the middle class, Maybe in terms of earning, maybe in terms of spending, maybe the character in terms of how to manage the money, maybe in terms of investment, or maybe in terms of buying and selling of shares. These rules and these regulations, most of the time, they dictate and they are bound to put us in a position of, look, there is no way you're going to come out of this thing unless you follow this and this rule. If you are a third world country, or there is something called developed country, and another one called already developed country. In these two segments, or in these three categories of countries, there is a formula that is worked out. There is a proper upscaling of formation or of information and data, records and statistics that are supposed to be put together, come up with a rule of classification, and declare this country as a third world country, as a developing country, and as a developed country, a fast growing economy, a growing economy, and an economy that is dead. So there are rules and regulations, and most of the time these rules, they have been enacted in the lives of people as they live, that look, this is what should become your prison for the rest of your life. So when you are an entrepreneur, when you are an investor, when you are a business person, if you become limited to, that is in terms of if you become limited in terms of what are the rules that have been set, or what are the rules that are going to govern your engagement, that this engagement that I want to have today, or this engagement or this project that I want to be able to undertake, there is a flow of systems that have to be followed, then it will need you to take a lot of long time, a lot of nights, a lot of working hard on a proper, well-guided, because when you have a regulation, as you forge forward and as you fight to be able to break the monotony in any given environment, as long as you have just been put in a place where you must follow a certain given path, or you have been guided by a given regulation, a given procedure, a procedure ends you somewhere. Any guideline, it has an end goal that guideline seeks to achieve. If today I decide and say, look, I've given you this guideline that you're supposed to follow, as you want to engage, you go to the community, you want to be able to undertake community empowerment program. And then there are rules that govern that community empowerment program. There are qualifications of a person who qualifies to be able to undertake a community empowerment program. That process, it has an end game that is going to ensure the person who is supposed to benefit from this program, the guidelines narrow down to lead you to getting the right person. So rules, regulations and procedure, and the rules that govern business, and the rules that govern an economy, and the rules that govern, that is a country. There is a set in mind of the setters, the people who come up with those rules. If it is a constitution for the case of a country, that constitution, at the end of the day, if you follow that constitution up, it seeks maybe, at the end of the day, it wants to bring order. It wants to bring that respect to an authority that has been put in place. It seeks maybe to come up with at least a procedure, a flow of motion that, look, these are the rights of a citizen, these are the rights of a government, this is what is supposed to be done in a government, this is how to run this economy, and this is how to do this. So as someone sets it, he has a set. We can't deliberately come up and declare that one as a mindset, but there is something behind the mind of every person who brings a rule or who brings a regulation in place. He has something he's seeking to achieve by bringing up those conversations. So it gives us the liberty and the latitude to be able to agree that, look, sometimes for you to come up with a new path, or for you to be able to achieve a goal that is higher than what has been set, you have to ignore the rules of the game. For you to be able, because if you look at the mindset of a person who comes up with a rule or a regulation, he wants to tell you that, look, you can't be richer more than this amount of money. So if there are rules that are governing accumulation of wealth, and they are saying, look, in this place, you cannot have land that is more than a given number of acres. And then you proceed to be able to follow the latter, or to be able to be in agreement with that law and begin to engage yourself or conduct yourself in a manner that is subjective to the rules of that land, you will be limited. There's a way you can work hard, but you will work hard as a limited person. You can be able to work hard as a person who has got, you have no, that your set goals are limited. Like, look, your age is going to define what you are supposed to achieve at the age of 25. Your age is going to define you that as at the age of 60, you are supposed to be at a given place. And for me, I think having a mindset and having set that is having set yourself on a platform that limits you, or bringing up your mind in a way that, look, you have this barrier that is stopping you, that you cannot, this business, it is an entrepreneurial, it is a project, but this project, for me to carry out this project, I must be able to wait so that I'm at a given age, because the rules of the game, this is how these rules are done. And most of the time, people who succeed, they tend to tell us, they will never tell us stories in terms of, this is actually what I've gone through. They will always want you to see how they struggled maybe to achieve whatever they want to achieve. If you are motivated by people, they will limit you, because you might want to go through what they have gone through for you to become what they are. But most of the time, these people, they never disclose all intended information for the purposes of your usage and for the purposes of you deciding that, look, if this person did this, as a person encourages you that, look, Elon Musk had this company and sold, and he was declared bankrupt. He doesn't come up and tell you, how did he come up with this plan? He was sharp, yes. But as long as you are sharp, for visibility of your project, or for visibility of whatever you want to engage in, you must put it on paper, and you must have a platform to be able to communicate. So this is a person who is supposed to come and tell you, look, this is how I accessed my platform. This is how I got this platform, and I delivered this for me to be here. That billionaire that you want to look after, or that successful person that becomes your motivation of working hard, there is a way he conceals information that if you are bound to look up to him for you to be able to get where you want to get, you might end up giving up, because the ready-made information that you need is not in your possession. Another thing is, there are people who are obsessed, that is, with reading books, e.g. that's a Diary of a CEO, How to Become a Successful Entrepreneur, When I Was at Age 22, The Forbiddance of That Age, and then all the other books, How to Better Yourself, Bettering Entrepreneurial Culture, How to Succeed, How to Make Money Work for You. All these novels, they are good, they are sweet. But as we go through and we read through these novels and books and stories, they are not supposed to limit our mind into thinking about them and into introducing them to be able to make them our main guidance, our main brains, our main focus. That, I've read this book, and whatever I've gone through in this book is exactly what I want to be able to follow, so that I can be able to achieve A, B, C, and D. I want to tell you that, look, for any writer in the history of writing, the reason why I'll write my book, there is something that must push me to write my book. There is a professional book that has been written by a professional, that is auditing standards, international standards of auditing. These ones are supposed to guide an auditing profession. But there is this book that is written, The Life of Barack Obama. This book is written with feelings, because this person writes a book that, one, he has to package this book in a way that as you read through this book, you will not be able to judge me. I must write a book in a way that as you go through the contents of this book, you're not going to judge me based on the contents that has been displayed in the book. And you're not going to conclude me by you going through the biography or the whatever I've written. So I must first of all package the book in a way that you, the reader, you will be able to like what is in. Then I must bring in emotions so that that person who is going through this book, there's a way I must communicate psychologically with the reader or the person who is interested at, or the person who is going through the contents of the book. So this book is not, it is, for me, it is supposed to be used as a leisure. Any book that has been written that is not tied to professional ethics and professional efficiency and career progress of a person, that book belongs to you going through. Just understand what is there. It's good to understand what is happening around the globe, what's happening around the world. Then there are books of history that recorded history for other. It is a preservation of history for other ages to come. But for you as a reader, as you go through the histories that happened in 1915, you want to transform the mindset of a person who was in 1915 where there was no technology, and bring that mindset in the current days and survive with that knowledge in the current days and succeed using the mindset of a person of 1915. Look, this person is his intention, his intent, his formation, and his plan was not to disrupt your mind. He wanted you to come up when you're free, just understand during those days, what is it that was happening. He's not telling you, look, learn what I've written and go practice what I've written. No, this person is telling you, look, this is what happens in the world. This is what people do in the world. And this is the intention of what I want you to be able to understand. That as these things might unravel themselves in the future, they should not make you think that it is a conclusion of what has happened in the world or what will forever happen in the world. So that it leaves you in a way, it is more of information, but is not more of you becoming like them or like whatever they intend or whatever they are putting in writing. So this means we have to be intentional not to live under instructions or not to live under that is a cultural practice that limits you or prohibits or forbids you from doing something because you are under oath and instructions to be able to achieve your success. Success has no formula. Achieving your goals, it doesn't need a formula. Most of the people who have succeeded, they did not have even a structural plan. The best structures that exist in the world, they first were conceived in the mind of the owner. Then he told the architecture that, look, this is the structure that I want you to put up. This is the structure that I want you to draw for me. This is the structure that I want it. This at this point, this is how I want this kitchen to look like. That means the idea belongs to the owner. And once you subject the idea to the rules, once you subject to your idea to waiting your time, you have to stand up as an entrepreneur in any given place you are. You have to stand up on your feet and say, look, I have to make things happen. You have to come up with solutions. Sometimes it needs you to create problems. As a successful person, or if you want to succeed in the market, you have to have a unique solution to unique problems. That these problems have never existed before, or the solution that I have, nobody else has the right to that solution. So you will be sorting out people's problems as you earn a living from people's problems. That is the mindset of a person who wants. And if you think as a good person, or if a person who invented cremation of human beings and burying of human beings. If he had that mindset, a limit of, people when they die, their respect should be preserved, you can't burn a person, that first person could not have invented the technology of doing that exercise and earning a living from that exercise. He did not let the feelings overwhelm him of people who are grieving and say, now that we are in a problem, we are in a mess, we even people could not be burying people. And that means a person who is making coffins will not be making one today. So it gives us the latitude to be able to have an independent mind, to be able to have an independent focus, to be able to rethink and reshape our thinking around offering solutions to unique problems. And the solution that we offer should be very unique. As you walk today, or as you move into the life of discovery and life of undertaking one or two things or one or three things here and there, you must always remember that whatever you undertake today, if it is not going to be able to sort out the problem that I have no business of acquiring something that it is not in my purview. A problem of today is not in my purview a solution to my problem, and it is not going to add value, because life of a human being is based on conquering obstacles every day. The more you conquer them, the more you become better. And the more you conquer them, the more you gain experience. The more you gain experience, the more you near your end times. So the most experienced person is the person who has died just a moment ago. That is the most experienced person. Because the more you near closure of death, the more you near closure of ending that life, is the more you have been experienced. A person is moved, or a person is left in a corner, thinking of, how do I better myself, and why should I buy your product, and what value does that product have to do with me? What value does that product add on my table? And what am I seeking to achieve? And how is that solution you're offering tied to my needs of the day? Do I need it? And why should I need it? So those are the biggest questions that you are supposed to ask yourself, apart from the rules, apart from the regulations, apart from the limits. You must think outside your body. If you want to succeed as an entrepreneur, as a business person, as a project manager, as any person, there's nobody in this life who success is defined by one, happy life. Happy life is defined by one, income. Income is defined by one, how to earn it. So you can't be better if you're doing nothing. You can't be better if you cannot meet your bills. Meeting a bill today gives you confidence that you will see tomorrow. Not meeting a bill today, not meeting it tomorrow, leaves you with a question that I'm heading on the wrong direction. So will you choose to be heading in the wrong direction, or you will be intentional and intended to say, look, my opinion, my stand is to better myself. My stand is to be able to offer a solution to a given problem. As you walk around, as you move around, anywhere you are, be it in the United States of America, Australia, Asia, South America, Northern America, you must just know that your distinctive thinking, your personalized formation, and your individual capacity to be able to offer a solution to any given problem on a market or in any given setting. It is what will distinguish you, and it is what will give you autonomy to operating, to achieving, and to earning whatever you want to earn. And the more the problems you solve, the more the income you get. The more the income you get, the more the connection you get. The more the connection you get, the more the broader the market, the more you become a brand, and the more you're bound to become an advisor to people, even when during that time you did not even have any words of wisdom. Because you will learn through experience. You will stand through experience, and you will advise in between, in the bounds and in the formation of experience. Ladies and gentlemen, let us practice not to be tied, and let us shun away from being put in a category of, look, this is your bondage, this is where you belong. Like, I'm an upcoming, someone will tell you, you are an upcoming entrepreneur, an upcoming business person, an upcoming content creator, an upcoming this and this, an aspiring politician, an upcoming lawyer, an upcoming. If it is in terms of professionalism, achievability is relied on your determination, your mindset, and your plan to be able to go forth and look for that opportunity as it is, convert the opportunity, raise on the occasion. If in fact it is you finding yourself in a professional setting, you are going to ensure that in this capacity that I have been given, I'm going to ensure I'm going to do my best so that whatever I do and whatever I engage in is going to add value to my employer and to my career. And I'm not limited by being a lawyer and be told I'm a junior lawyer, I'm an upcoming. No, mine is to win, and winning is achieving my desires of my heart, and I have to go out of my way, whatever I've been trained to undertake. I must not be limited in a regulatory body. If it is public accountants body, if it is the law society that wherever country you belong in, it should not be your limitation of achieving your goal, and it should not dictate the level, the capacity, in the power of what is it that you want to achieve. And that brings us into a conclusion that indeed, ladies and gentlemen, the power, the energy, the zeal for mission, the capacity, and all that is needed is just deciding that there is no rule that is needed of me, there is no regulation that is needed of me, and there is no cocoon that is supposed to dictate the level of my achievement. That's number one. The level of how far I can go, and the power of what can I achieve in the meantime. Do it in a different way. Do it without limitations. Do it without boundaries. For you to succeed, you must do the unthinkable. Following the law and moving in the regards and confines of the law will leave you as a person who is regretting more than a person who is ready to achieve whatever he or she wants to be able to achieve. Undertake this thing with zeal, undertake these things with confidence, undertake these things with courage, power, and focus. And always understand that success of yourself positions another generation as a successful generation because of whatever you work out for today. So let's catch up, let's do business, let us focus on bettering the levels and the chains of success in a way that it defines best of our interest, and it stands to benefit and gain us and put us on the right track. That we are not going to be dictated by people or anybody, any formation, any unit. That look, unless you follow this channel, this is where there is success. Most people have succeeded, as we said, they did not follow any rule. Some of them were on their way doing comedy, and people started to laugh, and they discovered, oh, I can make people happy. Then this means comedy can make me successful. And we have known them as comedians. And even it ended up creating a space that is called comedy. When a person was just attempting his normal jokes and nonsense, it was not a joke. He knew he was not funny. He knew he was, even at some point, people could view that person as a mad person. But he decided that, look, I'm going to stand on this ground, and I'm going to be able to use this ground to leverage, achieve, and attain the goals of what I want to achieve today. So do not be limited by the rules of the game. Mostly there are people who will teach you rules of the game. This is how you, if you want to succeed, this is what you must do. If you want to succeed, this is how. No. The how part is what will make you never to reach the where. If you focus on the how, it is going to be able to put you out of ideas, because if you begin to reason today, you have to reason in accordance to the rules that have been set. That if you are an entrepreneur, for you to sell an item, unless you do this content in this way. So anytime you have something new that is popping up in your head, it must conform to the branding regulations. What if you remove the branding regulations, that is when that content is supposed to go viral? Maybe the branding regulations is what is limiting you from achieving through the market, from achieving through from people looking at whatever you're doing and commenting you to the next available person. Anybody who has seen your content will say, this guy undertakes a good thing, he's doing so nicely. But they are limited to that because you have a rule. There is something that is regulating you, that for you to have a podcast, you must have 2 people. No, we will do it in a way that we think it's good, because the most important thing is the right content, not how it is supposed to be delivered. No, it's not a must that I must ask somebody, whatever I'm saying, is it true? No. Those rules, if you lift the ban of rules on limiting your thinking and limiting your ideas, that is when you're bound to succeed on the market and with people who have, because if I just tend to imagine, if the billionaire of today could follow the rules of a person who was telling him that this project that you have started, it is impossible, that look, there is no mass, you can't settle people there, are you normal? That person could have easily said, but by the rules of the land say, for you to land, I don't know where, you must get a license from where. Just land there, let them come and arrest you from there. Then you will be able to discuss, because at the end of the day, they must listen to me. That look, instead of arresting me, let us have a conversation of how I can help the 2 of you the next time you will land this site. And you'll be converted into an important asset to that person. So following the rules and being limited by the rules is one of the ways and mechanisms that has been crafted by the intenders of your failure to ensure you remain as a failure, you stand as a failure, and you die as a failure. They are not intended, they have no capacity, they do not have any goodwill to your side. So just do it. Just do it in accordance. The way it's supposed to be done is not the right way. The way you want to do it, that is the right way. And you must ensure you're doing it, you must do it, and things must work out. Ladies and gentlemen, don't be limited and don't be told what to do. Decide what to do. What you want to do in your mind, it is the right thing. That is what you are supposed to do. How you do it is in your mind. Go for it. Don't follow the regulations. The rules of the given environment, if it is an economic rule, defile that rule. Through defiling it is when you will succeed. If it's a political space, if it's an employment space, if it is anywhere, any given space, defile the rules of that space. Thank me later. Bye for now. Hit that subscription button. Leave that comment. Let's grow together. No rules, we grow. Available rules, derail us. That's a bye for now. God bless you. Asante sana. Bye bye. Inshallah.